Attention bowlers, we are going to get started. Welcome back to Academy Lanes in Haverhill, Massachusetts. This is an ACST doubleheader today. It's Ari Liebmann at Krista Ruggiero and Tim Dacey at Terry Ballard. It's good as always to have you along with us. The match format is 5 strings with 14 points on offer. 2 points per string, 4 for total pinfall. If there is a tie, the points are evenly split. I'm Steve Kelly on the call for the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, brought to you by 3-Ball Spare Conglomerate. This match was played on Saturday, April 5th, 2025. I'd like to highlight just a couple of things. This broadcast will have subtitles and live captioning enabled, so if you enjoy this feature, please feel free to enable it in the controls below. If you're watching this broadcast on YouTube, the transcript feature will also likely be available. Throughout the match, I'll describe the play-by-play action and provide up-to-the-minute scoring to the best of my ability. Keep an eye on the unofficial scoreboard on your screen. It's here for the benefit of the broadcast, while the bowlers maintain the official book records separately. Scores are subject to review or correction. And we have Tim Dacey, who will throw the inaugural first ball on lane 12 at Academy Lanes in the red room today. And it's a headpin shot. He leaves the bucket of 5 and the 7. And then we have Ari Liebmann on lane 11, throwing his opening pitch. Just a little bit to the right of the headpin, mixes down 7. Tim Dacey leaves the 7-10. Bowlers are not bowling head-to-head today. They're bowling opposite of one another. So Ari Liebmann is facing Krista Ruggiero. Tim Dacey is facing Terry Ballard. And they will bowl opposite of one another. Ari Liebmann opens up with a spare. A little hockey puck spare of his. And that will be an 8-box opener for Tim Dacey all the while. I may occasionally pause to verify scores if things seem out of sync. I appreciate your patience when that happens. If you're watching this on YouTube later on, there may be times where I may include some notes in the description if I catch any errors or anything in post-production, so be sure to look out for that as well. Tim Dacey pitch off to the right on his first ball, and Ari Liebmann misses the headpin, but will fill with 4. Tim Dacey leaves the 4 horsemen on the left side. It's now Ari Liebmann, the 1-3-6-4-7-9. Oh, and he wanted to cross over to the Brooklyn side of the headpin, but just missed it just by inches. Tim Dacey takes a 9-box, leaving the headpin on the 4 horsemen. Ari Liebmann, nice cleanup and a nice 10-box. And that's also a Paul Grant special. Miss the second, get the third. $1 donation to Candlepins per cancer per occurrence. That's the Paul Grant special. On a ball that could have been a spare that ends up being a 10. Dacey to the left of the headpin crossing over. It's the 4 horsemen left side and the right side and the 7. Ari Liebmann on the pocket. Almost takes himself a strike. Leaves the 7. Dacey is off to the right of the headpin. Ari Liebmann for a spare, and he'll get that spare. 34 and a bonus after 3 for Mr. Liebmann. And Dacey, I believe that will be an 8-box. I'll hold for the call, but I'll pencil it in as an 8. 34 and a bonus after 3 for Liebmann, 25 after 3 for Tim Dacey. That is confirmed. That's Tim Dacey in the green on the right lane on lane 12, and Ari Liebmann on lane 11 on the left. Well, now the right. We'll be swapping cameras back and forth throughout the match for some perspective shifts. And to see some faces, of course. Ari Liebmann with a left side Kaleri, named after Bob Kaleri. 1, 3, 6, 10, and 8, or 1, 2, 4, 7, and 9. Dacey leaves the 3 and the 4. Ari Liebmann's got the left side Cleary. He's done quite well in getting these as of late. Almost takes another Cleary, but the 7 is wiggly, but doesn't go. Dacey will take a 9-box. Liebmann has the 7 pin to contend with. And that'll be a 10-box. It's 34 after 4 for Tim Dacey, and 49 after 4 for Ari Liebmann. Again, the bowlers are not bowling head-to-head today. They're bowling opposite. In this doubleheader pairing today, Tim Dacey at Terry Ballard and Ari Liebmann at Krista Ruggiero. That's Tim Dacey with a headpin shot. Drops all but the 5. The kingpin. Ari Liebmann to the left of the headpin. Another Cleary. A right side Cleary this time. His second Cleary in a row. Tim Dacey, that's a mark, and he's on the board. Nice way to sit. 44 and a bonus after 5. Ari Liebmann, 1, 3, 6, 8, 10. Misses the object pin. Punches a few out, leaves 3 pins. 1, 8, 10. Ari Liebmann versus the remains of a Cleary, and he'll take it out for a 10. He has a perfect half. Love to see that. And you know what we also love to see? We also love to see the match scores. That's Tim Dacey, 44 and a bonus after 5. Ari Liebmann with a perfect half, 59 after 5, 3 10s, 2 spares. Great start. And Tim Dacey is sitting on a mark, so to be continued on that 44 plus a ball. We're watching the opener of the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, this Class F doubleheader at Academy Lanes in Haverhill, Massachusetts. I'm Steve Kelly on the call. And we're going to switch gears over to Terry Ballard and Krista Ruggiero. Newcomers to my program are Krista Ruggiero and Tim Dacey today. Terry Ballard, Terry Churn Butter starts out with a split. Krista Ruggiero mixing down 6. Ballard 3, 7, 9, 10. Misses the 3. Krista Ruggiero misses all the pins for the spare shot. Terry Churn Butter will open up with an 8. Krista Ruggiero, it's going to be 6. And just waiting for the official confirmation on that 6, as it was a foul shot. It's getting keyed in now, and now it's all set. Terry Ballard starts with 6. Off to the right of the headpin, 1, 2, 7, 9. Krista Ruggiero on lane 11. Pokes at the 7. Terry Ballard's off to the right. Terry Ballard with a record of 71 and 139 with 16... Actually, no. That asterisk on that. Terry Ballard actually subs in for Michael Brown in Class F, so actually that is not a correct number, so apologies on that. Caught it in the last match and didn't catch it here in my notes and possibly the ticker down at the bottom. Krista Ruggiero has 3 pins left, 5, 9, 10. That'll be a 7 for Krista Ruggiero. It's 15 after 5 for Terry Churn Butter Ballard, and for Krista Ruggiero, it's 13 after 2. Yeah, some of the stat polls I retrieve when bowlers are subbing in mid-season, some of the numbers are off. And I was able to catch that for Terry last match I covered for him, but I just missed it this time, so that's all. He's actually got a lot of matches to catch up on. So some of those numbers may seem lower than the rest of the bowlers, but it's just a matter of catch-up. Krista Ruggiero almost does get a late falling spare. It was worth the wait. 23 after 3 in a ball. And that's 21 after 3 for Terry Ballard. And those scores are confirmed. Krista Ruggiero had that split spare, and 1 pin took a very long time to fall at the end, but it doesn't matter how long it takes to fall. This isn't 10 pin. It can take as long as it needs. Terry Ballard, still looking for the head pin, drops 7. 1, 2, 4. Krista Ruggiero in the pocket. Pins are still mixing. I know in this room we have to wait a little bit for the final mix, but it's 6 for Krista. Terry Ballard leaves 1 pin on the deck, the head pin. Krista Ruggiero's got the 6, 7, 9, 10. And she almost takes the 7 out on the kick of the 6, 9, 10 shot. Terry Ballard will at least pin it out for a 10. For 31 and 4, Krista Ruggiero. Also with a 10, 39 and 4. Terry Ballard, presently 6th seed in Class F North Division 1 and the 11th seed in Class F North overall. And a rough gutter ball first ball for Terry Ballard. He says, get that on camera, and, well, we did. Krista Ruggiero just slightly to the left of the pocket. 6 drop, 4 horsemen. Terry Ballard leaves the 1-3-7-9-10 on the second ball. Krista Ruggiero, ball 2. Almost catches the head pin, but it kicks back to the 10 and leaves the 3-6. And Terry, oof. That'll be a 5-box. And Krista will take a 9. 48-5 for Krista Ruggiero, and 36-5 for Terry Churn Butter Ballard. Current leads are Tim Dacey up by 8 and Ari Liebmann up by 11. This first game of 5, we're just finished the first half of the first game. You're on the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, this Class F North doubleheader at Academy Lanes in Haverhill, Massachusetts. Steve Kelly on the call, and great to have you along. It's going to be Ari Liebmann and Tim Dacey again, just on opposite lanes this time. Tim Dacey's on a mark. Ari Liebmann is not. Ari Liebmann threw a perfect half. And Ari Liebmann leaves a 6-pack in the 7. Tim Dacey will split 5 and fill 5. Spread eagle minus the 2. Liebmann. Oh, he cuts the 3-6, leaves the high-low jack 1-7-10. And Tim Dacey will lead the 4-7. Ari Liebmann versus the jack. And he'll miss it for a 7, 66-6. Tim Dacey will take an 8 for 57-6. Ari Liebmann has a season record of 129-81 with 15 matches played, a home record of 76-22, an away record of 53-59. Season average 95.77, home average 96.51, away average 95.13, a high single of 128, a high series of 531, and that's Ari Liebmann on the pocket, dropping 8. Splitting 8 to 7, and that's a left side cleary for Tim Dacey. Ari Liebmann with a spare, cleans up, 76 and a ball and 7. Tim Dacey just stays on to kick the 7. 6-box or greater for Tim Dacey. Ari Liebmann has 23 strikes, 106 spares, and 131 tens for the season with a 35% perfect box percentage and 7,183 seasonal total pins, but a great 10-box and a great out by Tim Dacey, 67-7. And he's just got to score correct that, I believe, because the automatic score system thought he threw a 6-box for some reason. There we go. Now it's fixed. 76 and a bonus for Ari Liebmann. He's working on a spare. He was perfect until the 6th box where he threw a 7-box. Other than that, every ball is 10 or higher. Every box is 10 or higher. Ari Liebmann on the pocket. Ooh, and the luck runs out there. A 4-pin spread eagle. And another cleary on the left side for Tim Dacey. Seen a lot of clearies on lane 11 in particular. That's a spread eagle for Ari Liebmann all the while. And Liebmann tries to cut the left side, and wow, he's going to take all but the 7-pin. That was almost a really great spread eagle for a spare. He left 1 on the deck. Tim Dacey leaves the 1 on the 9. Ari Liebmann's the number 1 seed in Class F North Division 1, the number 2 seed in Class F North overall. That'll be a 9 for Ari Liebmann. And an 8 for Tim Dacey. 75 and 8 for Tim Dacey. 89 and 8 for Ari Liebmann. Ari Liebmann was talking about how he was practicing bowling recently, and he was also kind of going a little bit too hard in the gym. He was just trying to, balance working out versus not being sore to bowl, but he seems to have no problem right now. He's on the head pin there, Ari Liebmann. It'll be a 8-drop, 9-drop actually, 2-pin. Tim Dacey on the pocket as well, all but the 5. Single pin spares for both of our bowlers queuing up right now. Oh, and Ari Liebmann, I think he just stayed on, just, I heard an audible worry from him, but not a problem. Spares for both. 85 and 9 for Dacey, 99 and 9, and a bonus for Ari Liebmann. So both bowlers on marks. Ari Liebmann will start first. He has 4 marks this game, 99 and a bonus and 9. He's really been doing well on the head pin lately. He'll drop 8. Fill 8. Dacey is off to the right of the head pin. Fills with 2. 87 and 9. Ari Liebmann with another mark. 117 and a bonus. And Tim Dacey. Nice shot. Great shot by both of our bowlers. But the one that really struck out to me, though, was that shot by Tim Dacey. Look at this. Nice light hit on the 1-3 pocket to take out the left remains of that initial 2 drop. We're now in overtime for the first game for these bowlers. Ari Liebmann, 1 ball to go. He's on the hot and the head pin, and he'll put an exclamation point on that spare. 126 and a 5 fill for Tim Dacey for 102. Ari Liebmann has been coming out swinging. 5 marks. Lowest box 7, and his fills got higher and higher. But he starts out with a 126. Tim Dacey, though, with a 102 to start the first game. We're back to Krista Ruggiero and Terry Ballard. Krista Ruggiero, record of 83 and 127 with 15 matches. She has a home record of 44 and 68 and a away record of 39 and 59. Her season average is 91.80. Home average of 94.33, away average of 88.91, or high single 114, or high series 507. Krista Ruggiero on the 7 to the left. Terry Ballard to the right of the head pin, but does get a head pin out of it, and it ends up being a split because of that head pin drop. Krista Ruggiero on the pocket, leaves the 5. Almost a great spare. Terry Ballard is just off the object to the left. Krista Ruggiero on the 5. And that'll be a nice 10 box for Krista. Terry Ballard will take a 9. Should be 58 and 6 for Krista Ruggiero. Confirmed. Terry Churn Butter is at 45 after 6. Krista Ruggiero has 16 strikes, 82 spares, 126 tens. Perfect box percentage of 30%. Seasonal total pin 6,885 for Ms. Krista Ruggiero. And Terry Ballard almost with a strike. A lumberyard down there on the 2. Krista Ruggiero's got the half Worcester plus DLC. And she's off to the left. Takes a few more out. Terry Churn Butter for a single pin spare with lumberyard. And the lumberyard, wow, gets plowed away. But the 7 pin, the lone tree in the forest, stays there. Krista Ruggiero. Take a 10. Good out. Terry Ballard with a 9. 54 and 7 for Ballard. 65 and 7 for Ruggiero. Krista Ruggiero is the 5th seed in Class F North Division 1. The 10th seed in Class F North overall. That's the 411 on Krista Ruggiero. Try to spotlight bowlers bowling on lean 12 today, just to keep my own head on straight. A lot of stats, a lot of bowlers. If there's any stats that appear to be missing, or if you think I missed anything, have a little news ticker towards the bottom center of the screen. Will be largely the same stats that I'll be telling you verbally, but just in case I miss them or things happen. Krista Ruggiero with a left side 6-pack. Terry Ballard with a 6 drop. 1-3-6-8. Krista Ruggiero with a 6-pack on lane 12, the left side 6-pack. Krista Ruggiero, she clips the head pin, leaves 3 on the deck, takes 3 of the 6. Terry Churn Butter leaves the 6 pin. He was on the objects. Great offer, great attempt. Offer not accepted. Krista Ruggiero, 2-4-5. And she'll leave 1 on the deck for a 9. Ballard with a 10. 64-8 for Terry Ballard. 74-8 for Krista Ruggiero. Krista Ruggiero, married to Justin Ruggiero, who also bowls in the ACST. Covered one of his matches recently as well down in Riverwalk Lanes. And Krista opens up with a light hit on the left of the headpin. Ballard drops 6, 1-3, 8-9. Krista Ruggiero's got the 1-3, 6-4, 7-9 to shoot at. And Krista on the 4, on the 7, leaves everything else. Terry misses everything to the right. Ruggiero for the 10. We'll take 8. Terry Ballard on the headpin. Oof. Headpin bounces around. 71-9 for Terry Ballard. 82-9 for Krista Ruggiero. Scores are confirmed. And in case you missed it, Ari Liebmann threw a 5 mark 126. Tim Dacey threw a 3 mark 102. Krista Ruggiero on the pocket. Pin's still mixing. 7 drop and a split. 7-9-5. And Terry's just having a heck of a time out there. Just a little bit off the object by a little bit every time. Just needs to make a slight adjustment, I reckon. Krista Ruggiero all in the spare, but she gets robbed. The 7 pin does not cooperate. Terry Ballard really consistent on that 3-9 pocket, but unfortunately it doesn't yield any decent results here. So it will be the first game for Tim Dacey and the first game for Ari Liebmann. Krista Ruggiero to finish up with a 10 box, 492. And Ballard will take a 5 box, and that's game 1. So Ari Liebmann takes the first game 126 to Krista Ruggiero's 92. Tim Dacey takes the first game 102 to Terry Ballard's 76. That's the story of the first game. The first game of 5. We still got 4 more games of Candlepin Bowling to perform today here at Academy Lanes in Haverhill, Massachusetts, here on the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. Leaders of headpins currently in favor of Ari Liebmann, 5 for 10, followed by Tim Dacey, 4 for 10. Everyone is mostly even on splits. Krista Ruggiero and Ari Liebmann have 3. Tim Dacey and Terry Ballard have 2. Here at the second game now. Bowlers getting set up, as well as myself. It'll be Tim Dacey and Ari Liebmann leading off. And Tim Dacey will punch the 4-pin for a lemon drop. Ari Liebmann's on the head pin and splits 4. Tim Dacey, a crack of an impact. 7-9-10-2-6. Ari Liebmann 7-8-10-5. Oh, and Ari, that was a wild crossover to the left. Tim Dacey, oh, he'll kick 3 and leave 3. He'll open up with a 7. Ari Liebmann. Nice 10 box and a nice out for Ari Liebmann. Tim Dacey has a season record of 104 and 106 with 15 matches played. He has a home record of 60 and 52, 1.15 win-loss ratio. When he's away, he's 44 and 54. Season average 93.37, and a home average of 93.7, and a away average of 93. That's a split and an 8 drop for Tim Dacey. That's the 2 and the 10. Ari Liebmann to the right of the head pin. Pins are still mixing, and he does get a split stat out of it because he got a backdoor drop of the head pin. Tim Dacey, oh, he almost cuts the 2 to the 10, but it was just a little bit either in front of or behind it. I want to say behind it. Ari Liebmann for a spare shot on a 7-10. No mark for him either. Tim Dacey. It'll be a 9 box into the gutter. No good. And Ari Liebmann. Oh, and he'll sail into the gutter as well. 16 after 2 for Tim Dacey. 19 after 2 for Ari Liebmann. looking for marks so far this game. Both bowlers are. 3 boxes to go before we swap to Terry Ballard and Krista Ruggiero. Tim Dacey on the... There's the, you know, precisely what we were looking for. I hope I got that in a replay. I might have been too late, but we'll see. We'll show that after Ari Liebmann's shot. Ari Liebmann crosses over too much, but he gets a decent mix of 6 out of it. 1, 5, 3, 8. And here he goes. Oh, and he was on it, but will he get a nice... Oh, the 5-pin almost fell into the 8, or onto the... Deadwood to fall into the 8, but it was just a little bit off in terms of angles. Wood is still settling. And he fires. Oh, and he gets stuffed by all of the wood. That's a 9 box for Ari Liebmann. I'm going to see if I got this replay. Oh, I did not. Well, enjoy that fist bump from Tim Dacey. I was just a little bit slow on the hotkey. Tim Dacey's working on a strike. Oh, for the double, he was right on the pocket. Dropped 8. It looked good on paper. Ari Liebmann to the right of the head pin. It's a 6-pack on the left side. Check his ID. We ID at Pub 125 at Academy Lanes. You should check it out. Great food, great burgers in particular at Pub 125 at Academy Lanes. The 6-pack shot brought to you by Academy Lanes' very own Pub 125 in the green room. Ari Liebmann leaves the 1 and the 8. Tim Dacey missed his spare, but he'll miss the second and get the third. For a PGS on a 10 box, 44 in 4. Ari Liebmann with a 9. In case you don't know what a Paul Grant special is, here it is. Miss the second, get the third. Paul Grant is always watching. 1 ball to go before our bowlers sit. Tim Dacey, high single 138, high series 547, 14 spares, 14 strikes, 100 spares. Oh, and will he get another strike? Oh, he almost does. Every time I'm trying to do a stat dump, that's when someone seems to throw a mark. And Ari Liebmann on the head pin drops 8. 1 of the 7. Tim Dacey, single pin spare on the 10. Tim Dacey, 14 strikes, 100 spares, 120 tens, 31% perfect box percentage. There's the spare by Tim Dacey. Ari Liebmann looking at the 1 and the 7. For a spare, he's just off. Trips the wood, trips the head pin. 7-pin stays. Tim Dacey, perfect box percentage at 31%, 7,003 seasonal total pins. The 4th seed in Class F North Division 1, the 8th seed in Class F North overall. That's the story for Tim Dacey. Ari Liebmann on the 7-pin for a 10 box. Oh, and just no luck at all for Ari Liebmann there. 46 half, and it's a 54 and a bonus half for Tim Dacey. 2 marks for Tim Dacey this time. Sort of a reversal of fortune between these 2 bowlers. They're not bowling each other, but just an interesting punctuation on those 5 boxes compared to their previous game. But still 5 boxes to go. Back on the decks are Terry Ballard and Krista Ruggiero. Krista Ruggiero in the slightly darker blue on lane 11. Terry Ballard in the baby blue on lane 12. Ballard will fire first. Crossing over to the left. Takes the 4 and the 7, but pins are still mixing. I looked down to input the split and headpin data, and how about that? Got a nice 7 drop out of that, actually. Krista Ruggiero, similar story, but not as much of a mix. There's a spare for Terry Ballard. There's the boom. Mr. Boom, Terry Ballard. I'm sure you heard that at home. Krista Ruggiero mixing pins down. 1-9 for a 10 box. And Ruggiero. Nice 10 box for Krista Ruggiero. Let's get that spare by Terry Ballard, and I think we'll have the boom as part of it too. I think. There it is. Boom! Terry Ballard's boom. Brought to you by Terry Ballard. So Terry Ballard on on average goes 21 for 50 on the headpin. He'll fill with 6 there. Krista Ruggiero, left of the headpin, 7, 8, 10, 1, 2, 6. Terry Ballard, excuse me, that's going to be a 7 fill, late falling pin. And I might have a score correction for Ari Liebmann that I'll have to input in just a second. No mark for Krista Ruggiero. Terry Ballard takes an 8. Krista Ruggiero, 7, 8, 9, or 10 box on the 7, 8, 10. It'll be an 8 for Krista Ruggiero. Let's see. Ari Liebmann might have a score correction to put in. He had a 10 box in the 4th. So I'm just following the bowlers' scores down there. So it's actually 47 after 5 for Ari Liebmann. And Terry Churn Butter almost with a strike on the headpin there. A nice pocket shot dialed in. Krista Ruggiero will take the 6-pack on the 7. Ballard on the spare, and there's another strike. Another boom. Plenty of dynamite here at Academy Lanes on lanes 11 and 12. Krista Ruggiero, working box. 1537. And Krista will take a 9 for 27 after 3 and 35 and a bonus after 3 for Terry Ballard. And let's get this on the replay as well. He was right on it, and there was the boom. Terry Ballard bringing the boom. And with a strike. And yes, sir. Terry Ballard with a strike on spare. Krista Ruggiero, 1, 8, 10 on the deck. So Terry Ballard, just like Ari Liebmann in the previous game, suddenly just coming alive with the marks. And Krista Ruggiero just pokes one more out. She's got an 8, 9, or 10, the 1 and the 10 to shoot at. Some wood between the 1 and the 10. And she'll take a 9. And I think we got the strike for Terry Ballard. Watch this on the 1-2 pocket, and the 10 pin was the last to fall. No boom there, just the boom was recharging. Didn't matter, it's on strike. Terry Ballard on a strike. Used to the left of the head pin, 6 so far, 4 horsemen right. Krista Ruggiero with a left side half Worcester. Oh, and that'll be a 6 fill on the strike for Terry Ballard. He misses the horseman. 61 and 4. Krista Ruggiero, oh, she's going to get a generous kick of the wood and a spin of the wood for the 153. And that'll be a 7 for Terry Ballard. 68 after 5. That's not a bad half at all. And Krista will take a 7. Just pausing to verify scores because automatic score system did something definitely weird down there. 47 to 43, Liebmann to Ruggiero. And 54 to 68 is confirmed for Dacey and Ballard. Dacey is on a mark. The only open mark going into the second half of the second game. So I think we are still doing okay in terms of scores. Welcoming back Ari Liebmann and Tim Dacey. Ari Liebmann, 1 match with a shutout victory this season. 8 of 15 matches with double-digit wins. On average goes 15.6 for 50 on the head pin. 8.2 splits per match. And Liebmann slightly off target to the right. Dacey, ouch. I think it's going to be a 1 fill on the spare on the 10 pin. Ari overcorrecting, crossing over to the left and taking nothing. Tim Dacey on the pocket there leaves the 3 and the 6. And Ari, oof, that's a rough box indeed for Ari Liebmann. A 5 for Ari and a 9 for Dacey. Ari Liebmann is at 52 and 6. Tim Dacey is at 64 and 6. We are at Academy Lanes in Haverhill, Massachusetts today at Pub 1 and Pub 125, also attached to the bowling alley as part of one of the rooms in this establishment, established in 1963 to be exact. With 44 lanes, there's 3 rooms in Academy Lanes, red, blue, and green. The red room is where we're bowling today, sort of the traditional candlepin bowling room. The blue room is the glow bowling room. The green room is synthetic lanes, and it might also be glow equipped, but it also contains Pub 125. Ari Liebmann with a 6 drop and a split. Tim Dacey on the pocket dropping 6, with also a split, 7, 8, 10, 5. 2, 4, 7, 8 for Ari Liebmann. He fires a little bit too much to the right. No mark for Ari Liebmann. And Tim Dacey kicks the 7. Leaves the 5, 8, 9. Ari Liebmann on the 2, 4, 7. Oh, and he sails into the gutter, unfortunately. It'll be a 10 box left on the table. Tim Dacey will capitalize and take the 10 box. 74 and 7 for Dacey. 59 and 7 for Ari Liebmann. Ari Liebmann threw a 126 in the first game. Struggling this game. Yet to find any marks, and struggling to find the headpin specifically. I know when you bowl, sometimes your first game can be wildly low or wildly high, and sometimes that can kind of offset the rest of the game, so you have to kind of figure out a way out of that. Ari Liebmann, pocket there. Might be a strike. 4-pin doesn't go. And that's a 6-pack left side for Tim Dacey. Check his ID. 6-pack. Mr. Ari Liebmann on the 4-pin. Oh, and he's, again, crossing over way too much. No mark. Tim Dacey on the 6-pack. Oh, and 2 pieces of wood collide to thwart the 5-pin going down for the spare. Great shot, just unfortunate action. 9 or 10 for Liebmann. It'll be a 10. Missed the second, get the third situation. 69 and 8. That's a 10 box for Dacey. 84 and 8. And they may need to fix that for Tim. And it looks like they just noticed, so that's going in. Just on the scoreboard down there. The on-screen scoreboard is always unofficial, just as a reminder in case anything seems odd. 1, 2, 10 for Liebmann. Dacey crossing over to the left on the Brooklyn. 1, 5, 6, 9, 10. 1, 2, 10 for Liebmann. Spare opportunity if he can connect with the pocket. Just has to work on that crossover. Oh, and he's on it. Oh, and it was so close. The piece of wood even skated past the 10. And there's a nice spare by Tim Dacey, tripping the wood to get the kick. Ari Liebmann versus the 10-pin for a 10 box. 10 it is for Ari Liebmann. Let's look at the shot by Tim Dacey, though. Look at that wood across the head pin. But he hit it full to kick forward and push backward. You see that? So he technically missed the object, but it didn't matter. Very generous action there for Tim Dacey. Ari Liebmann, 8 for 19 on the head pin with 6 splits, totaling 30 in marks, averaging 6 per mark. Mark fills, that is. Tim Dacey, 9 for 19 on the head pin with 4 splits, 21 bonus pins, averaging 3.5 per mark. It's a split and a 6 drop for Liebmann. Tim Dacey's throwing a ball to clear a piece of debris down there. That is not a live ball. That happens at Candlepin. Not a, kind of a bit of an analog game. We occasionally just need to do stuff like that. The running joke today is, I'm filing a grievance. It's like kind of like a Seinfeld episode down there today. And that's a 2 fill and a half Worcester for Tim Dacey. We were talking to Terry Ballard before the match started, and I said, oh, but hold on a second. Look at that spare by Ari Liebmann. I was talking to Terry Ballard, and we were saying, we were joking about the whole grievance thing. We were saying, he says, you better get that on the stream. And I said, okay, Terry leads the league in filing grievances. He's at 2. So, just having some fun with that. That's an 8 box for Dacey and a spare for Liebmann. Let's see that spare shot by Ari Liebmann on the 7-10-3-6. Connected with the 3-6 pocket, a little bit full, but it was still enough. So Ari Liebmann, another bonus ball. 89. Can get to 99 with a 10 fill. Oh, and it was an overthrow and a 1 fill. Yikes. That's going to be a 90 for Ari Liebmann and a 104 for Tim Dacey. Those scores are confirmed. All right, so 2-game total of 216 for Ari Liebmann and a 2-game total of 206 for Tim Dacey. Tim Dacey with quite a few headpin shots, particularly at the beginning of the game. Ari Liebmann kind of getting his act together a little bit in the second half, inversely. All right, it's going to be Krista Ruggiero on your right, Terry Ballard on the left from the perspective of the back camera. Krista Ruggiero will fire first. She's at 43 after 5. Terry Ballard with a powerful 68 half. And now he's on the headpin. Terry Ballard is with a right side diamond, the 3 diamonds. Krista Ruggiero's got the one diamond and the 4 triangle. She's just a little bit off the headpin. Ballard takes the diamond for a spare. The diamond loses. That's his 4th mark of the game. I'll get you a replay queued up in just a moment for that. Krista Ruggiero, oof, that's going to be a 5 box, I believe. But look at that diamond break by Terry Churn Butter. Diamonds are hard to break. They're really hard, but not for Terry Churn Butter. $78 and a bonus for Ballard in the 6th. 48 so far for Krista Ruggiero, and oh, she's off to the left of the headpin on the 7. Terry Ballard on the headpin. Nice fill of 7. 85 and 6 now for Terry Ballard. It's Krista Ruggiero on the 1-2 pocket. Wow, that was one heck. 4, 5, 6, 9, 10. Terry Ballard, another spare. 95 and a bonus and 7 for Terry Ballard as he proclaims Class F. Class F for fantastic today. Terry Ballard has more marks than open frames. He has 4 spares and 110 this game. So he kind of took what Ari Liebmann had in the first game and just kind of amplified it. That was a 6 box for Krista Ruggiero. Sorry about that. And Krista's on the headpin there. Leaves the 7. And Terry drops 4. Was off to the right of the headpin. Got a weird mix. 99 and 7 for Ballard. Oh, and Krista Ruggiero misses her single pin spare. Terry Ballard takes the 7. And Krista Ruggiero has 10, 64 and 8. Ari Liebmann with a punch and a 7 box for 106 and 8. Those scores are confirmed. This is a great match here at Academy Lanes in Haverhill, Massachusetts. The Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Steve Kelly on the call for this doubleheader for Class F today. Krista Ruggiero not on the headpin. And Terry Ballard on the headpin with a really awkward split. 4, 5, 6, 2, 10. I'm looking for the day we get a leave of the 5, 6, 4, 3, so I can be like 5, 6, 4, 3. Yeah, right. No mark for either bowler. And Krista Ruggiero will take 8. On leaving the 1 the 7. 4, 6, 2, 10 for Terry Ballard. That'll be a 6 box for 112 and 9. And 72 and 8 for Krista Ruggiero. Home bowlers today are Terry Ballard and Krista Ruggiero. So it's away bowling together and home bowling together. And Krista Ruggiero will almost a strike. And again, another one of these, like, this last pin just decides not to fall. And that's something I've seen here at the Red Room and Academy Lanes, not only at this match, but during like the Friday Night Pro League and all kinds of other matches here. Oh, but she'll trip the pin for a spare on the wood. Terry Ballard 7-8, 1-3. No mark, but he can get to 122 potentially as a guaranteed 120. It'll be 121 with that 9 box for Terry Ballard. What a game by Terry Ballard. He gave you a 10. And Krista Ruggiero on her mark will take 3. That should be 85 for Krista Ruggiero. Sorry, we had a couple of score things just to work out. And sorry, I missed the fill on Krista Ruggiero's shot. Just a couple things going on just off screen here. So 90 and 85 are confirmed for Liebmann and Ruggiero, and 104 and 121 is confirmed for Tim Dacey and Terry Ballard. Okay, we are caught up. 177 two-game total for Krista Ruggiero, 216 two-game total for Ari Liebmann, 192 for Terry Ballard, and 206 for Tim Dacey. We're setting up for the third game of 5 here on the Atlantic Can Open Singles Tour. On deck is Ari Liebmann and Tim Dacey. Tim Dacey on your right in the green. Ari Liebmann in the multicolored shirt on the left. If you're just tuning in, this is the Atlantic Can Open Singles Tour, a season-long series of one-on-one can open bowling matches between challengers organized into classes and divisions competing for playoff contention. That's Tim Dacey with a 6-drop so far, the left side accordion. Ari on lane 11. Right of the head pin, gets a generous 6-drop out of it. Back corner, front trip. And for the accordion spare for Tim Dacey, it looked like it was going to go, but the 8-pin somehow survived all that. Ari Liebmann, will he get another spare by missing everything? Not quite. Tim Dacey will take a 10. The Ari Liebmann versus the 3. For a 10 box. It will be a 10 box. Both bowlers open up with 10 in the third game, first box. If you've never seen Can Open Bowling, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to you and hope you enjoy what you're watching. If you're a returning viewer, always welcome back. Your continued viewership is greatly appreciated. It's Tim Dacey on the 10 pin. Ari Liebmann to the right of the head pin, but a mix of 5. 1, 2, 7, 8, 10. Dacey on the pocket. Full-ish hit. 3, 6 left on the deck. No mark. Ari Liebmann's got the 1, 2, 7, 8, 10 to work with. He fires. Again, a little bit too full. He touches them all, but the 10-pin wiggles, doesn't fall down. Dacey. We'll take 9. Hard-fought 9 for Tim Dacey. Ari Liebmann, that will be a fouled 9 box for 19 after 2. Just waiting on the confirmation. Yes, 19 after 2 for both bowlers. Tim Dacey on the head pin. And won't get a split after a late falling pin. He's got the 4-7. Ari Liebmann to the right of the head pin and takes a 3-9 half Worcester. Dacey leaves the 4. And Liebmann trying to clean things up, and he sails through the same void the first ball went through. Tim Dacey will get thwarted by the wood on the cap. It'll be a 9. Difficult wood to contend with there. Ari Liebmann just trying to get something out of this. Greater than a 2 box, and he'll take a 7 for 26 after 3. 28 after 3 for Tim Dacey. 26 after 3 for Ari Liebmann. And the bowlers are not bowling head-to-head today. It's away and then home. Tim Dacey first. Right side 6-pack. Sponsored by Pub 125 at Academy Lanes. Liebmann, 6 drop, 1, 2, 4, 8. Dacey was to the right of the head pin, missing the object, but ooh, piece of wood almost came over to pick it up, but didn't take it out. Ari Liebmann leaves the 1, the 8. No mark for either bowler. Tim Dacey shooting for a 10. It is a 10. Misses the object, but kicks the wood. It's that kind of action you can expect from the red room here at Academy. Ari Liebmann, will kick the 1 and leave the 8. That's a 9 box. 35 after 4 for Liebmann, 38 after 4 for Dacey. And that's a left side cleary for Tim Dacey all the while. 5 drop. And on the head pin for Ari Liebmann, he's moving 8. He's moving 9. He's moving 10. A slow mover, but it goes. And Dacey versus the cleary. He'll take 2 in the back and leave the 1, the 2, and the 9. Dacey on the 1, 2, 9 for a 10 box, and he'll take a 9. And I think we have the replay of that strike. Well, slightly past impact, but watch the way those pins fall very slowly. That was the story. All right, so strike for Ari Liebmann puts him at 45 and 5 plus a bonus, and then 47 after 5 for Tim Dacey is where we're at. Only 1 mark so far. It's just Ari Liebmann this game. The strike in the 5th. Not a lot of headpin shots either. Dacey is 2 for 5. Ari Liebmann is 1 for 5 with 1 split. Terry Ballard mixes 7, splits 7. Krista Ruggiero still mixing 7 drop after all said and done. Ballard on the 4, 6, 10. He'll play the right side and leave the 4. Krista Ruggiero all the while. On it, all over it for a spare on the triangle. Ballard will open with a 9 box. See a replay of that spare by Krista Ruggiero all the while on the 1-3 pocket. Takes the 2 out along with it. So Terry Ballard on lane 12. It's on the 7 pin. Krista Ruggiero to the right of the head pin. A 3 fill. Center diamond, 4 triangle. Terry Ballard is a 3, 6, 10. Krista Ruggiero on 7 pins down there, a working box, and she'll take a few more out. 1, 2, 7, 8. Terry Ballard pokes an 8 for 17 after 2. Krista Ruggiero working on a 10 box with a 6 box guarantee, and that's a nice cleanup for a 10 box for Krista Ruggiero. That's 23 after 3. 23 after 2, excuse me. They're putting in that score correction now down there. It's already fixed back here, just they had to fix it down there. Terry Churn Butter on lane 12. On the head pin. 5 pin falls, 8 pin stays. 9 drop. Mr. Ruggiero on the head pin with a nice splash as well and a 9 drop. Ballard for a single pin spare, and he's got it. 27 and a bonus after 3 for Terry Ballard. Krista Ruggiero, perfect so far this game. 6 for 23 on the head pin with 3 splits. 12 in total mark fills, averaging 4 per mark. Oh, and the wood deflects the ball away from the 7. Now that's a shot where it's something where I know this is going to be a little controversial, but play the pin directly. Just like that, you see that? 33 after 3 for Krista Ruggiero, and that was a missed opportunity of a spare shot, 33 after 3. But as Mark Ritchie always said, when you have a shot like that, do not play the wood. Just, whoa, but hold on a second. That's a strike on spare for it, Mr. Terry Ballard. Krista Krista Ruggiero's on the 7. 47 in a bonus after 4 for Terry Churn Butter. 2 marks in a row. Krista Ruggiero on a 1 drop on the 7 pin. She'll take a few more out. 1, 2, 4, 9. Krista Ruggiero, 1, 2, 4, 9 for a 10 box. And it goes. She takes them all out. She's still perfect. 43 after 4 for Krista Ruggiero. Let's see that strike again by Terry Ballard while we have a moment. Watch that go on the 1-2 pocket. It was a decisive strike for Terry Ballard. And now to conclude that strike idea for the double, we'll drop 8 so far, 5-10. Krista Ruggiero's the left of the head pin, drops 6, 1, 6, 8, 10. And Ballard, and he'll take another mark, his 3rd mark in a row. That'd be $50 in bonus money on the Channel 5 show. It's a spare on strike, and that strike was on a spare. He's at 67 after 5. Another explosive half by Terry Ballard. Krista Ruggiero for a 10 box, 1-8. Oh, and that'll be an 8. 51 in 5 for Krista Ruggiero. 67 in 5 for Terry Ballard. 45 in a bonus for Ari Liebmann. And 47 after 5 for Tim Dacey. Lead by Ballard is 11 in the total and 20 in the game, plus the bonus. Liebmann up in the total by 33, but down in the game by 6 to Krista Ruggiero. The Ari Liebmann, who's working on a strike on lane 12. And he'll start with a half Worcester, but he gets another ball for the fill. Dacey, also the same thing. Left side half Worcesters for both of our bowlers. That's the half Worcester. You punch out the 2-8 or the 3-9. We just watched 2 in a row for 2-8. Oh no, and he'll do it again. He'll Steely Dan it. It's a 2 fill for Ari Liebmann. Tim Dacey almost converts. Tim Dacey leaves the head pin. Ari Liebmann is just trying to get out of this box at this point. Oh no, and he'll do it again. 3 shots on the half Worcester pocket again for a 2 box and a 2 fill. That's got to hurt, and that'll be a 10 box for Tim Dacey. 57 and 6. Ari Liebmann, that's dangerous. He had a hanger of a half, but my goodness, the 2 fill, 2 box. It's going to have to make up some ground now. Krista Ruggiero is actually still ahead of him in the game as of right now. Ari Liebmann on the 10 pin. Tim Dacey to the right of the head pin. Drops 5. 1, 2, 5, 8, 9 for Tim Dacey. Liebmann seems to not be crossing over as much as he wants to be. And Dacey knocks all down by the 10. The head pin. Excuse me. Ari Liebmann with a pile of pins to work with. He'll take a 7 for 56 in 7. Tim Dacey will take a 10 box for 67 in 7. Tim Dacey still hunting for a mark. 1 strike for Ari Liebmann. Terry Ballard has 3 marks in a row. Krista Ruggiero has 1. And Ari's to the right of the head pin again. Working ball. Tim Dacey to the left of the head pin and a Cleary on the right side. Liebmann on his shot, a pile of pins in the center, and he's right on it, a little bit full, but it was almost good enough. Leaves the 9. Tim Dacey on the head pin, and wow, only the head pin goes. It weaved its way through the 6 and the 10. Can't believe that didn't take anything else out along with it. All right, Liebmann will take a nice 10 box for 66 and 8. And it will be a very gently achieved 7 box for Tim Dacey, 74 and 8. Here we go, Ari Liebmann. Lane 12. On the headpin there. Found it that time. 6 drop and a split. 4-6, 3-10. Tim Dacey almost a cleary, but the sleeper falls. Now he's got the 4 horsemen left side. Ari Liebmann, oh, he'll hit the wood in the center, connecting with nothing. Tim Dacey on the left side, 4 horsemen, and that goes. That's a spare for Tim Dacey. 84-9. Ari Liebmann, 6 blocks or greater now. And he'll take 7. Here's that spare by Tim Dacey. Runs down the 4 horsemen on the 1-2 pocket. It was a perfectly executed shot. Went straight down the lane. Right where its intended destination was meant to be. The Ari Liebmann on lane 12. 10 head pitch shots for 29 with 9 splits today. 33 in bonus pins from marks, averaging 4.7 per mark. Ari Liebmann with a 6-pack and a 7. Tim Dacey on a mark. Oh, and ouch. That's, oh my goodness, that's going to be, nothing there. That's a 0 fill. Yikes. Ari Liebmann leaves the 1, the 5, and the 7 on the spare shot. Tim Dacey on the second ball. We'll take the 1, the 3, the 4, and the 7. Liebmann, 7, 8, 9, or 10 box. Oh, and it'll be an 8 for Ari Liebmann for 81 and 10. Tim Dacey. Oh, a nice 10 box. And what could have been? It could have been a spare for Tim Dacey had the first ball gone differently. But anyways, that is a 94 game 1 for game 3 for Tim Dacey, and an 81 game 3 for Ari Liebmann. A 3-game total of 300 for Tim Dacey, averaging 100 on the nose. Ari Liebmann 297, just a little under 100 average. And we have Terry Ballard on deck, 67 and a bonus in the 5th, and Krista Ruggiero at 51 after 5. Just a little past the halfway point of this match. Hope you're enjoying it at home. I'm Steve Kelly on the call for the Atlantic Camping Singles Tour. Krista Ruggiero fires first. Very poetic first ball, but she's off to the left, and ouch, Terry Ballard will fill with 3 so far. 70 after 5 is his 5 blocks total. Krista has the 1, 2, 6, 10. And Terry leaves the 6-pack on the left. No mark for either bowler. Krista Ruggiero, 6 or greater. 6 it shall be. Terry Ballard, and we'll mix down 8 for 78 and 6. The scores are confirmed. Everyone has 11 headpin shots except for Krista Ruggiero as of right now. Fun fact. Splits for Ari Liebmann in particular are the most brutal, leading the pack. Krista will split with a spread eagle minus the 2. Terry Ballard not on the headpin. 6-pack with a 2-pin that moved off its spot and is wiggling, but it doesn't look like it's going to fall. Krista Ruggiero on this partial spread eagle. Sails into the middle. Terry Ballard, he'll take all but the object pin that he missed. Krista Ruggiero on the 7-10, 4-6-3. Oh, and what a pretty shot. It almost goes. She'll take a 9, and Terry Ballard will take a 9 as well. That's 66 for Ruggiero in the 7th, and 87 in 7 for Terry Ballard. Comes Krista Ruggiero. To the right of the headpin, drops 6. Terry Ballard on the headpin. Splits 8, 5-10. Krista Ruggiero's got the 1, 2, 4, 9. Here comes Krista Ruggiero. Takes 2, maybe 3. The 9-pin moves off its spot and slides a bit. Terry Ballard on the 5-10. Plays the wood, the double buffered wood, but couldn't get much out of it. Takes the 5, leaves the 10. Ruggiero. Nice 10 box for Krista Ruggiero, cleaning that up. 76 and 8. And Terry Ballard will also take a 10, 97 and 8. Scores are confirmed all around. Krista Ruggiero on lane 12. Here we go. She's on the 1-2 pocket. A thinnish hit, 9 drop. Well, not thinnish. It looked like a thin hit, and then it became a very thick hit, so hey, we don't mind that. That's a 9 drop and a 3-pin standing for Krista Ruggiero, and it's left side half Worcester on the 2-8 for Terry Churn Butter. Krista Ruggiero, oh, just off to the left of the wood. Terry Ballard, just to the right of the head pin on the half Worcester remains, and now it's the 1-7-10-9. Both bowlers shooting for 10 boxes. Krista Ruggiero on the retry. And she'll trip it for a 10. That's a miss the second, get the third situation. 86 and 9. Terry Ballard will take a 9 as well for 106. Again, that's a miss the second, get the third. Candlepins for Cancer. In the money. $106 and 9 for Ballard, 86 and 9 for Krista Ruggiero. And Krista on the 1-3 pocket, and it ends up being a 7-10 split. Terry Ballard to the right of the head pin. 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 9 is what it ends up being. So it was a 7-10 split for Krista Ruggiero. Some wood around. She decides to play the right wood, but it only takes a 10. Terry Ballard on the 1-8, no mark. Krista Ruggiero 9 for 30 on the head pin with 5 splits. Terry Ballard at 12 for 30 on the head pin with 6 splits. That'll be a 9 for Krista Ruggiero and a 95 game 3, and an 8 box for Terry Ballard for a 114 game 3. So Terry Ballard will take the third game by 20. 114 to Tim Dacey's at 94. 3-game total of 311 for Terry Ballard. Krista Ruggiero will also take the third game by 14 to Ari Liebmann's 81. 3-game total of 272 for Krista Ruggiero. And Tim Dacey currently with two points. Terry Ballard with 4. Ari Liebmann with 4 points to Krista Ruggiero's 2. So not really entirely a runaway for any bowler as of right now. The headpin shots are interesting. Everyone's kind of hovering in the 11 to 12 range except for Krista Ruggiero, who's down with 9. Ari Liebmann has 9 splits. Everyone else has 4, 5, or 6. And everyone has thrown a strike except for Krista Ruggiero so far. Here's Tim Dacey. Drops 7. Was off to the left of the head pin. 1-3-8 is what he's shooting at. Ari Liebmann next. And he's off to the right with our left side Cleary. Gets that shot a lot, it seems. I have to rename it to the Liebmann. Tim Dacey misses his mark, leaves the 1-3. Oh, and for the Cleary shot, Ari Liebmann almost gets it. Tim Dacey will take a 9. Ari Liebmann shooting for a 10 box now. And he'll take that 10 box. 10 after 1 for Liebmann, 9 after 1 for Dacey. Tim Dacey on the 1-2 pocket. Drops 6, splits 6, 7-10, 3-6. Ari Liebmann on lane 11. Starting now. To the right of the head pin, it's the 1-2-5-8-9 for Mr. Liebmann. Tim Dacey's, it could go if you connect with a 3-6 pocket, but he misses off to the left. Ari Liebmann, 1-2-5-8-9. For the spare, and I think he was just a little bit off. He kicks a few out, but leaves the 1 and the 8. Dacey will take 2 more out for an 8 box. Ari Liebmann, the mullet man. He'll take a 10. 2 10s in a row for 20 after 2. Tim Dacey to the right of the head pin. The center diamond, and then the 4, the 8, and the 9. Ari Liebmann's to the right, to the left, leaves pins on the right and some in the back. Tim Dacey leaves a cluster of 4, 1, 5, 3, 9, 1, 3, 6, 8, 9 for Ari Liebmann. He'll connect with the 8 and leave everything else. Dacey for a 10, and he'll take a 9. It looked like a 10 for a second. Then Ari Liebmann looking at a 6 box or greater. He'll get his third 10 box in a row. Yes, sir. That's 3 10s in a row for 30 in the third box for Ari Liebmann. 26 after 3 for Tim Dacey. And Dacey just narrowly escapes the lemon drop. Takes an extra pin out on the first ball. Ari Liebmann on lane 11. 4 horsemen left side, and then 2 extra pins fall, and then, ooh, the 2 pin is thinking about it. It's gonna go back on that decision. Ari Liebmann actually drops 8. Tim Dacey, no mark, leaves the cluster pins in the center. And Ari Liebmann, though, will get a nice spare out of that, 40 and 4 plus a bonus. Tim Dacey leaves the head pin for a 9. 35 and 4 for Tim Dacey, 40 and 4 and a bonus for Ari Liebmann. Dacey leaves a right side Cleary. 1, 3, 6, 10, 8. Ari Liebmann on the 1-3 pocket himself. A great fill. A split of the 5-10, but he'll take an 8 on the spare. And on the Cleary, Tim Dacey's got it. Tim Dacey with a Cleary spare. You always like to see that. This will be the 5-10 for Ari Liebmann. See if this goes for a perfect half. Oh, he was just a little bit off. Played the wood that was behind the 5. Definitely wasn't the target. It'd be a 9 or 10 for Ari Liebmann. So Tim Dacey has 45 and a bonus after 5. Ari Liebmann, perfect half, 58 after 5. And look at that shot on the Cleary for the spare for Tim Dacey. Once again, look at that. He was so happy to get that. That was a great reaction by Tim Dacey there. It's 45 and a bonus after 5 for Tim Dacey and 58 after 5 for Ari Liebmann. Only one headpin shot between the two of them, and both of those headpin shots were splits for both of the bowlers in that situation. Krista Ruggiero and Terry Churn Butter are next here on the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. Class F North doubleheader today at Academy Lanes in Haverhill, Massachusetts. That's Cleary on the right side for Terry Ballard. Krista Ruggiero, half Worcester plus DLC on the left. Terry Ballard on the Cleary. Takes the sleeper, leaves the 4 horsemen. Krista Ruggiero. Oh, she cuts it on the Brooklyn side, leaves the 9. Good offer. 7 for Ballard. 3, 6, 10. 9 or greater for Krista Ruggiero. And 9 it shall be for Krista Ruggiero. 7 after 1 for Terry Ballard, and 9 after 1 for Krista Ruggiero. Terry Ballard drops 5. Not on the headpin. Krista Ruggiero sails off to the left, but drops 7. Great mix. 1, 3, 9. Terry Ballard sails into the void. Krista Ruggiero nearly gets a spare, but the sleeper prevented that from being one. And Terry Ballard, oh, yikes, will take a 6. 13 after 2 for Ballard. Krista Ruggiero for a 10 box on the 9 pin. And that'll be a 10 for Krista Ruggiero, 19 after 2. Ballard. Off to the left, but leaves a bouquet of pins in the center. Krista Ruggiero's on the center, on the pocket. Splits 8. 8-10. Terry Ballard, 12 head pin shots for 33 today with 6 splits. Terry Ballard always off to the right. Krista Ruggiero, 10 for 33 on the head pin with 6 splits today. Krista Ruggiero, nice cut shot of a spare, playing the wood. Krista Ruggiero. Terry Ballard will make a 9 box out of it. Let's look at that replay by Krista Ruggiero. Look at that piece of wood in between the 8 and the 10. And she plays it perfectly to cut both. Back to the live action. Terry Ballard on lane 12. To the right, takes a few out. Krista Ruggiero on the head pin. Or no, not on the head pin. It sailed off. That's a 3 fill. I was prepared to say the head pin, and obviously I said it, but I didn't think it was going to sail. Terry Ballard will cut through the center. 2, 3, 4, 7. Ruggiero. Take one more out. The 10 pin goes out. And Terry Ballard will take an 8 box after all is said and done, leaving the 3 and the 7 for 30 and 4. Krista Ruggiero. 4 so far. She'll make it an 8 box. Great out. 40 and 4 for Krista Ruggiero. Here comes Terry Ballard. On the head pin on the pocket that time. Drops 8. 6-10. Krista Ruggiero off to the right of the head pin. Something was off with her release there. And Terry Ballard almost gets a spare, but the 6 pin just somehow survives. Krista Ruggiero's got the center diamond and the 4 triangle. And Ruggiero's off to the left, overcorrects a little bit. Terry Ballard will take a 9 for 39 and 9. I know that's certainly frustrating after having a great first half in the previous game. Krista Ruggiero will take a nice 9 out for 49 after 5. And that's halfway through the 4th game. 45 for Dacey, 39 for Ballard. Dacey up by 6 plus a bonus. Liebmann 58, Ruggiero 49. Liebmann up by 9. And up in the total by 34. Ballard is up in the total by 5. Getting ready for the second half. Here in the Atlantic Candlepin Single Store. It'll be Ari Liebmann on your right and Tim Dacey on the left from the perspective of the back camera. Tim Dacey is working on a mark. Ari Liebmann is not. Here he comes, Ari Liebmann. To the left of the head pin, drops 6, 1, 7, 8, 9. Dacey is to the left of the head pin. He'll fill with 3. Liebmann on the 1, 7, 8, 9. The 1 goes, 9 goes, 7, 8 don't. And Dacey's on the head pin, but leaves 4 on the deck. It's the 2, 5, 6, 10. Ari Liebmann versus the 7 and the 8. He'll take a nice 10 out of that for 68 and 6. Tim Dacey almost cuts all 4, but leaves the 2 on the deck. That's a 9 box for Tim Dacey and 57 and 6. Stay with us for all the action in this doubleheader today. Tim Dacey taking on Terry Ballard, and Ari Liebmann taking on Krista Ruggiero. Ari Liebmann, he'll punch the 6 for a 6-pack. I mean, not the 6-pack, lemon drop, excuse me. Dacey will drop 8 and split 8. 5-7. Ari Liebmann on the pocket. Yikes. Almost takes everything out. The 7 is untouched. Great shot. And Tim Dacey tries to do something with the wood to take the 5-7, but nothing goes. It'll be Ari Liebmann versus the 7 for 10 box. And he'll get that 10 box, third 10 box in a row. He's perfect this game still. It's a 9 for Dacey, 66-7. Ari Liebmann, his worst box has been a 10. And he has 6 10 boxes and a spare. That's 78 after 7 for Ari Liebmann. So they put in that score correction. And yes, we are still in sync. Ari Liebmann on lane 12. The perfect game so far. Misses the headpin there. Tim Dacey also missing the headpin. Oh, and Liebmann cuts down the center a little bit too full, leaves the 3-6-10. Dacey connects with the 6 and the 9, leaves the 1, the 3, the 4, and the 7. No mark for either bowler. Ari Liebmann in peril of losing his perfect game right now. Let's see if he takes the 3-6-10. Oh, and he does. That's an 8 box. He'll punch the 6. Tim Dacey with a nice 10 box. A great out. 76-8 for Tim Dacey. Two boxes left before we conclude the fourth game for these two bowlers, at least. Then we'll have Terry Ballard and Krista Ruggiero back up on the decks. The approaches of lanes 11 and 12 at Academy Lanes in Haverhill, Massachusetts, pub 125. On this Saturday afternoon, April 5th. Liebmann drops 7, 1, 2, 8. Tim Dacey gets some backdoor. It looked like a 3 drop at first, but now is a 7 drop, 1, 3, 10. Ari Liebmann hits the headpin and, oddly enough, takes nothing else out. The 2-pin is touched, but nothing else happens. Tim Dacey leaves the headpin. No mark for either bowler. 2-8 for Ari. And it'll take a nice 10 box. 96-9. And a 10 box for Tim Dacey as well. 86-9. They're just doing another score correction down there. Just missed Tim Dacey's 10. Now it's all set. And Liebmann, oh, he crosses over way too much. I heard an audible You never like to hear the when you throw a ball. And Dacey was on target for the head pin, but just sailed to the left a little bit too much. He's got the 1, 7, 10, 3, 8. Ari Liebmann, all but the 7 are up. And he'll almost convert that to a spare. The 9-pin wiggled. Tim Dacey leaves the 1 and the 7. And that'll be a 9 for Liebmann. And Dacey will take a 9 as well. That'll be 105 for Ari Liebmann and 95 for Tim Dacey at the end of the fourth. It's a 4-game total of 395 for Tim Dacey and a 4-game total of 402 for Ari Liebmann. And just double checking. Yes, they do indeed have those scores all the way down. We're all good. 5 more boxes to go in this fourth game of 5 here on the tour, the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. Be Terry Ballard, Terry Churn Butter, and Krista Ruggiero. Krista Ruggiero on lane 12. It's her first season in the ACST, record at 83-127. She's off to the left. Terry Ballard on the head pin, drops 6, split 6, 7-10, 4-5. Terry Ballard, the 6th seed in F North Division 1 and the 11th seed in F North overall. Subbing in for Michael Brown. Krista Ruggiero leaves the 2 and the 9 on the deck. Terry Ballard leaves the 5 and the 10 on the deck. No mark for either bowler. Ruggiero. Leave 1 for a 9. Ballard also 9. 48 and 6 for Ballard. 58 and 6 for Ruggiero. Terry Ballard's home house is Academy Lanes. His split average per match is 7.5. As of right now, at least. Krista Ruggiero to the left of the headpin. Terry Ballard to the right of the headpin, but mixes 8. 1-9. Krista Ruggiero's got the 1-5, 3-6, 8-9. Krista Ruggiero takes 2 more out for a 7. Terry Ballard will take a 9. Oops, I'm sorry. Not yet. 1 more ball to go. No mark for either bowler. Now Krista Ruggiero shooting for a 7, 8, 9, or 10 box. And it will be a 7. Terry Ballard will take a 10. 58 and 7 for Ballard. 65 and 7 for Ruggiero. So every bowler's thrown a mark this game except for Terry Ballard. Leader of headpins right now is Terry Ballard, 14 for 37 with 7 splits. Krista Ruggiero on the 1-2 pocket, and pins are mixing. 4, 7, 8, 9, 10 for Ruggiero and a half Worcester for Terry Ballard. And that was quite a shot for Krista Ruggiero in particular. Started out with only the pocket going down, and then the rest of the pins went. And that's a great spare by Krista Ruggiero, though. No problem there. Terry Ballard leaves the 4, 5, and the 7. Ballard will take a 7. Let's look at that shot by Krista Ruggiero once again on the 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look at that go. I'm not even sure what even took the 10 pin out, but got kicked forward. Ruggiero on a head pin, splitting 5. Terry Ballard to the left of the head pin. Takes only a few out. Krista Ruggiero's got the 7, 9, 10, 5, 3. Spare leave. She's just off to the right of the object. Terry Ballard, all the while, leaves the center diamond. Krista Ruggiero for a 7, 8, 9, or 10 box. 3, 5, 7. She'll take the 5 and leave the 3 and the 7. That's an 8 for Ruggiero, 88 and 9, and Terry Ballard will take a 7 for 72 and 9. Krista, she had a audible with that release and knew something was wrong. Takes the 10 out. Terry Ballard was on the head pin. And actually, pins are still mixing. It ends up being a 9 drop after all said and done. Ended up being the bucket of 5, becoming a 9 drop on the 9 pin. Krista Ruggiero, 1-2 pocket. Pins are still mixing. Terry Ballard will take a 10. 82 fourth game for a 4-game total of 393 for Terry Ballard. Krista Ruggiero is shooting at the 3-6 for a 10 box. Ends up being the result of the play is a 9 box for 97 for Krista Ruggiero in the 4th for a 4-game total of 369. Oh, my apologies. That was a spare and a 7 fill for Terry Ballard. My apologies for that. Missed that. I got a box ahead or behind or something. So that's a spare and a 7 fill. 89 for Terry Ballard, correction. For a 4-game total of 400, still averaging 100 on the nose. Tim Dacey, 4-game total of 395. Terry Ballard does not take the 4th game. Tim Dacey still holds on to it with that 95. And double checking. Yes, we are all good. Ari Liebmann took the fourth game by 8 and still has the total by 33. Tim Dacey took the fourth game by 6. Terry Ballard holds on to the total by 5 going into the fifth. 4-point even distribution between Tim Dacey and Terry Ballard right now. Ari Liebmann currently has 6 to Krista Ruggiero's 2. Just to give you an idea of where we're at going into the fifth and final game, which can be worth up to 6 points. Not only for the 2 for the game, but if you can reclaim total pinfall, it's more of a possibility for Tim Dacey over Terry Ballard than it might be for Ari Liebmann and Krista Ruggiero, but it's still possible for any matchup right now. It'll just be a little bit harder for Krista Ruggiero. But we'll see what happens here on the tour going into the fifth game. I'm Steve Kelly on the call, and great to have you along. And it's Tim Dacey with a split of a 7. 4-6-2. It'll be Ari Liebmann next. Right down the center, 3-pin talon spread eagle for Liebmann. Tim Dacey sails through the center void. Liebmann on the 3-pin taloned eagle. Plays the left wing, leaves the right wing. 4-6-2 for Dacey, misses it twice, 7 box. Ari Liebmann will take a 6 to open up the fifth game. Tim Dacey has one of his 15 matches with shutout victories. 7 of his 15 matches are double-digit wins. He has a head pin average of 12.4 for 50 per match. 7.6 split average per match. His home house is Academy Lanes. It's a right side cleary for Tim Dacey. Ari Liebmann on the head pin, on the nose, drops 8, 4-7. Tim Dacey on the cleary. Takes a few out, leaves 2. Ari Liebmann on the 4 and the 7. Oh no, punch the 4 through some wood and leave the 7. Tim Dacey will take an 8. Ari Liebmann will take a 9. It's 15 after 2 for both of our bowlers, by the looks of it. Although it appears his first box had a 7 in it, so I will adjust that to match the bowlers. So actually it'll be 16 after 2 for Liebmann, 15 after 2 for Dacey. Dacey punches the 4 for a lemon drop. Ari Liebmann to the right of the head pin. Takes a few. Dacey, it becomes a 2 and a 9 leave on the second ball. Ari Liebmann's got the 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 10. Ari Liebmann connects with nothing. Tim Dacey, 8, 9, or 10. It'll be a 10 for 25 after 3 for Tim Dacey. And Liebmann, ouch. An awkward 4 box for 20 and 4 for Ari Liebmann. Had just grandma's teeth down there, and he couldn't do a thing about it. Tim Dacey's to the left of the head pin. Center diamond and the 6 and the 10. Liebmann all the while to the right of the head pin. And he mixes down 8, 7 and the 10. And Tim Dacey will leave 4 on the deck, the 4 horsemen. Ari Liebmann's got the 7 and the 10 to work with. Oh, and he almost converts it, but sidewall thwarts the 7 from going. That'll be a 9 for Liebmann. No, not a 9 for Liebmann. Excuse me. 9 for Dacey. My goodness. 34 and 4 for Dacey. And I'll hold for the call on that to see if it was a foul or not. My eyes didn't quite catch it. I think it's a 10 box. It'll be 30 and 4 for Liebmann and 34 and 4 for Dacey. Dacey, another Kaleri on the right side. 1, 3, 6, 8, 10. Liebmann Oh, on the pocket and weird mix. 7, 9, 10, 2, 4. Really bizarre leave. Dacey sails through the void. Liebmann connects with a 4-7, and the 9 falls, and the 10 falls. Wow. And the 2 is left on the deck. Dacey pokes the 6 for a 6. Poetic. 40 and 5 for Dacey, and a 9 box for Liebmann. That's 39 and 5 for Liebmann, and 40 after 5 for Dacey. Those scores are confirmed. Liebmann 3 for 5 in the headpin with 2 splits. Tim Dacey 1 for 5 in the headpin with 1 split. Liebmann 14 for 45 overall on the headpin with 12 splits. Tim Dacey is 14 for 45 with 7 splits. In terms of marks, Liebmann totaled 41 in mark fills, averaging 5.1 per mark. Dacey totaling 26, averaging 3.3 per mark. Here comes Terry Ballard. To the left of the headpin, takes the left side back candlepin corner. Check them out on YouTube and Facebook, by the way. That's Krista Ruggiero on the 4 and the 7 on the headpin. Terry Ballard misses the headpin to the right, leaves the 1, 2, 10. Krista Ruggiero on the 4-7. And the 4-7 goes for Krista Ruggiero. She's on the board with a spare. Terry Ballard will take a 9 box. Here's Krista Ruggiero's spare in case you missed it. It was a fast one. On the 4 and the 7 with wood assisted, and she was right on it. The wood didn't even need to be there. It would have gone either way. So it'll be Terry Ballard now. Lane 12. On the headpin, it'll be an accordion drop of 6. And Ruggiero is going to the left of the headpin, but a good mix of 5. Big check mark on the right side. Terry Ballard, will he get the spare? It's really thinking about it, but it won't go. Pin is really wiggling. Krista Ruggiero for a second spare. Leaves the 6 and the 10. Ballard will take 10. Ruggiero for 6, for an 8, 9, or 10 box on the 6 and the 10. It's going to be 9 for Ruggiero. 24 and 2 for Ruggiero. 19 after 2 for Ballard. Ruggiero, compare that to 16 after 2 for Ari Liebmann. So she's at 24 to his 16. Terry Ballard just struggling to find the headpin right now. It's 19 after 2 for Terry Ballard, 15 after 2 for Tim Dacey. To give you some comparison between the matchups. Krista Ruggiero splits the 5-7-10. Terry Ballard's got the 3-6-10. Wiggly 10. Krista Ruggiero on the 5-7-10 with wood. She plays, that was exactly the right idea to play that side of the wood. She'll take 2 of the 3. Be a 9 box for Ballard in the third. 28 and 3. Krista Ruggiero on the 7 pin. She'll leave it for a 9. 33 and 3 for Ruggiero. 28 and 3 for Terry Churn Butter. And then off to the left of, to the right of you from this camera angle is another ACST match kicking off. It's Stephen Post and Justin Ruggiero. Anyways, Krista Ruggiero, she's got the high-low jack with wood. 1-7-10-6-8 for Terry Ballard for a spare, leaves the 7 and the 10. Krista Ruggiero has got the 1-7-10 high-low jack to shoot at. She's on the headpin. She takes the 1, the 7, but not the 10. And Terry Ballard will take a 9 box. Krista Ruggiero for the 10 box on the 10 pin. It'll be a 9 for Krista Ruggiero for 42 and 4. 37 and 4 for Terry Ballard. And here's Terry Ballard on the head pin with a 3-pin Talon spread eagle. Caw. Krista Ruggiero is off to the left of head pin. Working ball. Terry Ballard takes a few more out on the right wing. Krista Ruggiero on the 1-5-3-6-8-9. And she'll leave 1 on the deck for a 9-box. A nice 10-box for Terry Ballard there all the while. So at the half, it's 40 for Tim Dacey, 47 for Ballard. Oops. I got to stop doing that. Keep getting 1 ball ahead or behind mentally. That's a 9-box. It confirmed this time for Krista Ruggiero. Okay, 40-5 for Tim Dacey, 47-5 for Terry Ballard, 39-5 for Ari Liebmann, and 51-5 for Krista Ruggiero. Terry Ballard has the total by 12 and the game by 7. Ari Liebmann has the total by only 21, and Krista Ruggiero has the game by 12. So things are mixing interestingly, and neither matchup is really a runaway. So we're going to see how things shake out here as we enter the final quarter, the third quarter, and the start of the final half of the final game here on the tour, on the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. I'm Steve Kelly in the call. Great to have you along. Ari Liebmann fires first. 6-pack right. Check his ID. Tim Dacey. Oh, extra pins fall, so not so much of a 6-pack. Tim Dacey mixes 7. 7-10-3. Ari Liebmann's off to the left. Oh, and Dacey's off target. Misses the wood that probably would have taken it all out. Ari Liebmann, it looks like it's going to be a 7-box. And Tim Dacey will clean up for... Ball is still live. It's going to be a 9. 46-6 for Dacey. 46-6 for Liebmann. At least I think so. We'll double-check the scores in just a moment. No, sorry. 49-6 for Dacey. 46-6 for Liebmann. No, that... Correct thing, I just read it wrong. And Liebmann on the head pin drops 7, splits 7, 3, 7, 9. Dacey, 1, 7, 10, 8. And Liebmann leaves the 1, the 7 and the 9. 1, 7, 10, 8 for Dacey. And he leaves the 7 and the 8. Ari Liebmann's cell phone is ringing off the hook, apparently. Liebmann for the 8, 9, or 10. It'll be an 8. 54-7 for Liebmann. Krista Ruggiero might still have a shot at the total, actually, if Ari Liebmann can't start stringing marks together. Tim Dacey on the 7-10. For the 10-box, he'll take a 9. 58-7 for Dacey. 54-7 for Liebmann. I'd like to thank our ACST committee members, like our lead commissioner Danny Finn, Class F treasurer Ryan Preyas, statistician Micah Imperato, staff at Academy Lanes, of course. I'd like to thank Steve Abodeely for some of the B-roll and photography you've seen today. Check out his work at stabodeely.com, stabodeely.com. Liebmann didn't hit the headpin, dropped 9. Headpin fell eventually. Left side, right side half Worcester for Tim Dacey. Liebmann's got a lumberyard on the 9-pin for a spare, and he needs this mark. And he'll get that mark. That's a spare for Ari Liebmann. 64-8. Tim Dacey, oh, another ball sailing through the hole of the half Worcester on the right side, where the 3-9 once stood. Dacey on the head pin that time, but it'll take a 6. 64-8 for Tim Dacey. There's plenty of other content to watch if once at the conclusion of this match. Plenty of other YouTube channels to check out, such as Candlepin Bowling Network, Candlepin Corner, Bowling with the Gothiers. There's my channel, 3-Ball Spare. Also, Outrun the Bear on Facebook and Instagram. TikTok has got @Candlepin Bowling for you. And that's a 7 drop and a 7 split for Ari Liebmann. 4-pin moves quite a bit. 71-8. Tim Dacey to the right of the head pin. Actually, the automatic score system thought it was an 8-fill. And Liebmann, He'll take 2 out and leave the 10. Capped a piece of wood. Tim Dacey in the 1-3 pocket. Right idea, just left the 4 and the 7. 9 or 10 box for Ari Liebmann. And it'll be a 10. 81 and 9. It'll be a 9 for Dacey, 73 and 9. All right, Ari Liebmann, final first ball of this match. Ari Liebmann, 1-2 pocket. Leaves this 3 and the 6. Tim Dacey missing the headpin there. 1-3-6. Ari Liebmann, 17 for 50 on the headpin with 14 splits today. And it'll connect with the 6 and not the 3. No mark. Tim Dacey on the 1-3-6. He'll leave the headpin. That'll be a no mark either. And then Ari Liebmann will leave the 9. Or leave the 3 for a 9, and then that's a 10 box for Dacey for 83 and 10. That's the end of the match for these two bowlers. 5-game total of 478 for Tim Dacey and a 5-game total of 492 for Ari Liebmann. Tim Dacey totaling 26 in bonus pins from marks, averaging 3.3 per. Ari Liebmann totaling 48, averaging 5.3 per. All right, so going in to the final half, the lead is 31 for Tim Dacey in the total and has the game by 36. That's the benchmark for Terry Ballard to achieve. And then 72 in the total for Liebmann, up in the game by 39. That's the benchmark for Krista Ruggiero to achieve. She'll drop 4 to the left of the headpin and to the right of the headpin for Terry Ballard, dropping 6. 1, 3, 6, 10, 7, 8 for Krista Ruggiero. 1, 2, 4, 8 for Terry Churn Butter. Krista misses the pins. Terry Ballard off to the right, hits a piece of wood, nothing else. And Ruggiero, that'll be a 4 box, ouch, and then a 6 box for Terry Ballard. That's 55 and 6 for Krista Ruggiero and 53 and 6 for Terry Ballard. Although it says he has a 10 up on the deck, up on the score system. Not sure if they're going to correct that, but we'll see. So the right of the headpin for Krista Ruggiero. Terry Ballard will drop 9 to open up. Yeah, I think they're going to have to fix that on the score. Krista Ruggiero almost gets the mark, and Terry Ballard, he does skate and get the skate of a spare. Krista Ruggiero's on the headpin. That's a 9 for Krista Ruggiero, 64 and 7. So I am just going to update Terry Ballard's score to match the automatic score system up there. Following the bowlers, and their score is the official score. So Krista Ruggiero will take 6. Terry Ballard will take a left side cleary and a 5 fill. 72 and 7 for Terry Ballard, 64 and 7 for Krista Ruggiero. And she's right on it, almost takes a spare out. Terry Ballard on the Caleri, and he takes the Caleri. That was a great Caleri spare for Terry Ballard. Krista Ruggiero, 9 or 10. It'll be a 9. And let's watch that spare on the Caleri for Terry Ballard. Great shot on the head pin. You guys broke another lane? And Krista Ruggiero is off to the left of the head pin. Ballard filling his second spare in a row. He's to the right of the head pin, and that's a 4-fill. Krista Ruggiero's got a whole pile of pins down there to work with. She'll take 2 more out. She's got the right side 6-pack now. Terry Ballard still having trouble finding the head pin. Leaves the inverse spread eagle, the T-bone, the 1-5-8-9. Krista Ruggiero on the 6-pack leaves the 5. That's a 9 for Krista Ruggiero, 82 and 9, I believe. And that will be a 6-box for Terry Ballard, 92 and 9. Now those scores are in sync with the scoreboard. 1 to go before we assess everything. Terry Ballard still holds on to the total by 14, so he's going to hold the total, and he has the game by 9, so he's going to take 10 points today. Krista Ruggiero presently stands to take 2 points against Ari Liebmann's 12. She's down by 41 in the total and down by 8 in the game, so she could still get 2 more points here. Let's see what happens. On the 1-3 pocket, splits, yikes, 6. Terry Ballard's got a left side 6-pack. Krista Ruggiero, 15 for 50 on the head pin with 10 splits today. Terry Ballard, 18 for 50 on the head pin with 8 splits today, and Krista just misses everything there. Terry Ballard leaves the 2-5-7. So Krista down in the game by 9. Or excuse me, down in the game by 8. She needs at least 2 to tie. Oh no, and she'll take a 7, and that will be not the 5th game for Krista Ruggiero. It'll be the 5th game for Ari Liebmann. And a 7 for Terry Ballard. Terry Ballard finishes for 99 in 10. Krista Ruggiero, 89 in 10. Or it appears to be 95 now for Terry. I will double check those scores in just a moment. One moment, please. Okay, now we're back in sync. Yeah, that 6-box suspicion I had earlier actually was corrected, and they did it very quickly on me. So, okay, so I believe we are 90, 89, 83, 95. Yes, we are totally in sync now. Sorry about that. Just sometimes the score systems are a little bit finicky, so just making sure it's all good. So let's queue up the final stats here. Get these up on the screen in just a moment. Here's your final stats today. Tim Dacey will take 4 points to Terry Ballard's 10. Ari Liebmann will take 12 points to Krista Ruggiero's 2. 478 for Tim Dacey, 495 for Terry Ballard, 492 for Ari Liebmann, and 458 for Krista Ruggiero. In terms of the head pins, it was Terry Ballard who was 36%, and Ari Liebmann also 36% on the head pin. So after all is said and done, Tim Dacey will move to 108 and 116, and Terry Ballard will move to 81 and 143 potentially, but again, that number may not be accurate because again, he was subbing in mid-season, so TBD on that one. But Ari Liebmann will go to 141 and 83, and Krista Ruggiero will go to 85 and 139. And that should just about do it for us here at Academy Lanes in Haverhill, Massachusetts today. It's been great broadcasting this to you today. And hey, if you think bowling is fun, you want to check this out, you're interested, check out candlepin.org and click Go Bowling to find your nearest center. Check out this map, get in the car, and go bowling. They would always appreciate your business. All these bowling alleys all over the place. Always, we'll appreciate that. And also check out Candlepin's number4cancer.com. We were talking about that earlier, run by Al Johnson and Paul Grant. To sign up for qualifying rollouts for the tournaments, or if you just want to donate for a great cause for the Candlepin community for Candlepins for Cancer. There's my channel, 3 Ball Spare. You can check me out on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Search 3 Ball Spare and look for the icon to make sure you know it's me. And of course, you can always check out all these other fine YouTube channels like Candlepin Bowling Network, the TikTok channel for @Candlepin Bowling, @Candlepin Corner, the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour page on Facebook, the hub for the ACST action. My channel, of course, 3 Ball Spare. There's Candlepin Chat on Facebook for all discussions on tournaments or everything else. Alley Chat for Friday Night Pro League recaps and the like on alleychat.net and their YouTube channel. And these other classic bowling channels as well. Check them all out. Anyways, for Ari Liebmann, Krista Ruggiero, Tim Dacey, and Terry Churn Butter Ballard, it's been great calling this match for today. I've been Steve Kelly, and for the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, we'll see you at the next one. Have a great one, everybody.